Everybody, this is going to be general energy reading. If it's for you, can't say yours unless it's meant for you to resonate with it. So what I'm going to do is tap into the energy that was placed upon my heart to do this reading. My general readings are usually given to me to look into. So what I'm going to do is, let me just clear this energy first, make sure I kind of did this extensively, but I want to make sure, because I want to make sure that this message gets out without any interruptions, any blockages, anything that may try to hinder me from getting this message out, even if it's my own fear, my own ego, and things like that. And potentially, I'm not going to lie, what y'all are going to think about this message. Am I going to hurt somebody's feelings? Am I going to trigger somebody? Lack of support if I do this, or that type of ignorance. And I know that's just my ego, and that's just fear and deception coming through, because this message needs to get out, I feel. So if it's for you, it will be for you. So I'm just gonna call out a prayer before I start this reading. I'm going first off, ask for divine protection surrounding me. I already have it. I'm sure those of you who are divinely protected, of course you already have it, but it never hurts to ask for, more support, make sure that there's no type of interference at all, whether it be ourselves. So if there's anything within me, within my intentions, my fears, my ego, that may try to hinder and block this message from coming through in a way that the Most High God, the Supreme God of all things, the Creator of all things, on this plane of existence, period, beyond our perception, that supreme divine being, I ask that anything within me that is trying to block the messages in which you have for those who are meant to hear this message, I ask that it is removed and blocks during the time of this reading, that I am fully aware and conscious of the message that is coming through, that my heart is open. I also ask for those who are meant to hear this message that their heart be open and that their discernment is open and aware. I also call to the guardians of the universe, the high council of the universe, the way showers, the gatekeepers, and the guides who are the most divine light and truth and clarity. Even those that may be in the shadows, those that are meant to show us the depths of things hidden. I call to those spiritual beings and divine beings connected to the Most High God, and which is meant to help. It's meant to help, assist, guide, and love and truth, who honor the Most High God, who honor the truth of the Most High God and the way of the Most High God. I call to those spiritual beings. I call to the great Archangel Michael to protect this reading and seal this reading, and protect me as I'm tapping into these energies. Anything that is connected to any of these individuals that I'm reading for, or anyone connected to the individuals I'm reading for, within those individuals, that anything that is not of the highest good of this energy be blocked and removed. This message is for those who have spiritual husbands and have spiritual wives. It's very important to cut ties with energies like that. Spiritual husbands and spiritual wives are soul ties. These are soul ties that, if you guys believe in past lives, but they could have been connected or created in a past life, created on some other plane of existence, whether that's a forged connection, whether that's a connection forged via yourself or through you, or via someone else forging this connection, that you are the person that you are connected with, this tie between you, or something outside of you has connected it, maybe through obsessive behaviors, maybe through the energy of depression, any lower vibrational energy that has connected you to another person as your spirit husband, as your spirit wife, whether that be via sex exchange. Whatever this energy that is of a lower vibration, I call to the Archangel Michael right now to sever those ties, sever those ungodly. And when I say ungodly, I mean in the wholeness of the Most High God, the wholeness of the supreme being of this universe. I call to cut ties with those energies that are not of the highest good of those that I'm reading for, whether they created these cords or these cords were created via someone else, or any spiritual being that may have not had their best interest, maybe in ignorance, whether it was through spell work, whether this was through desire, lust, whatever these lower vibrations are, cut these ties. I ask that you take your sword and you cut these energies and you slice them and split them and destroy them These ties are most likely connected to the heart chakra, connected to the sexual organs, connected to the solar plexus, and in the mind. I ask that you sever these ties, no matter how thick, how small, how long, how short. Cut these ties now in the Most High God. If it be in the will of those who are here, that these ties be severed. If it's the divine time to cut those ties, or it is of the will of those individuals to cut them, Most High God, I ask that anything else that is blocking others from seeing and discerning what is truth for them, what is their truth, what is their connection to you, that anything that is blinding them or deceiving them, anything or anyone that's blinding them or deceiving them, that you remove those individuals out of their sight, out of their energetic sight, out of their spiritual sight. Anyone that is trying to connect themselves through any type of deception or forging a connection of any sort, anyone who has intentions to seek and destroy these individuals' energies or infiltrate in their heart spaces and their energy fields, I ask that you block these energies out. I ask that you mirror these energies back to these individuals, and do what you will, Most High God. Whatever it is, whatever your will is, do what you will with these individuals who try to come in and infiltrate these energies. I also ask that anyone here today, anyone that is watching this reading at any time and space that they are watching or listening to this reading or this message, I pray that those individuals who have any intentions, knowingly or unknowingly, to forge a connection with anyone or tie themselves to another individual, when it comes to love, whether it's coming from a place of lower vibrational energy, I ask that you block those intentions. Block and show them what is better for them, what is best for them. Show them and direct their heart in the way that in which they need to go, Most High God. Thank you. I also break ties with any karmic connections. I break and cut cords with any connections, any connections that are unhealthy or toxic or serve as a distraction, Most High God. Any connections that are serving as distractions, romantic, whether that be friendships or false friendships, sisterhoods, brotherhoods, any spiritual energies that are distractions. I ask for prayer for all messengers of God, the Most High God. I ask that all messengers, way showers and gatekeepers, pioneers for the higher good of the planet, for the highest good of their elevation and evolution on this planet as a spirit, as they go through this existence, this journey in their life. I ask to actually, if that makes sense, readers, writers, singers, anyone who is here to spread truth and spread light, who also are here to show and reveal the shadows that need to be revealed. I ask that you protect these individuals, double seal and protect them, and allow them to get their messages out, Most High God, or more so the messages that you have placed upon them. I call to the messenger of God, Archangel Gabriel, to assist me with this reading, and that nothing be held back, that I hold nothing back, nothing within me, any fear within me or anything that tries to deceive me or tries to distract me, any outside noises, any distractions with technology, any distractions with things going on in my home, that these things be blocked out, that these things are not powerful enough to distract the message or to even to retract. No desire to retract the truth that needs to come out, even if I and my ego within myself am not comfortable with speaking this message out of fear, out of doubt, insecurity, out of fear of lack of acceptance. Those energies are removed. We welcome in the energy of discernment and clarity and truth and love, acceptance, strength, courage, faith, belief within the self, belief within the supreme being, the Most High God, the divine creator. Our spiritual team who is assigned to assist us in love and light and truth. Six of Swords. Okay, I'm just... All right. So, the jig is up. The gig is up. If there's any connections moving forward at this point, any connections that you may have had in the past that are not of your highest good, whether these are connections you forged with people that you have actually slept with and been with in past relationships with, people that you wish to be in a relationship with, whether that be people that you see day to day, whether these be public figures, whether these be someone else doing this to you, whether this be a person in your life, an ex, a lover that is created a forged connection or forged a connection with you, you forge a connection with someone, wherever it's coming from, either side doesn't matter, or your parents forged you into a connection with somebody. Management, I don't know why I'm hearing that, managers, religions, institutions have forged connections between you and another person, whether someone's spoken over your life, whether this was false information out of someone's ignorance or actual ill intention, wherever the intentions were, that these energies here are being severed. They're severed, they're cut, they're released. They will no longer plague your mind, control you, because the energy of despair comes up. This is an energy where a lot of you are heartbroken, in despair, obsessed, confused, conflicted, going back and forth within cycles, trying to make sense and understand through ideologies and through concepts that have been ignorantly released to the public, have been infiltrated and diluted, if that's what you want to call it. This is just what I'm hearing, diluted, and this is where I have to remove my ego. These connections, I'm noticing, okay, and this bothers me. I guess it bothers me, and it kind of puzzles me, and it also intrigues me. Okay. So when I, as a messenger, because I don't like, I hate even calling myself a reader because it's so limiting, calling myself a reader, because I pull cards. Because I don't just pull cards, I can actually channel energies too. I don't just read cards. But as a messenger, when you give readings for other people that are asking, is this person the one? Are we going to get, are they my twin flame? Are they my husband? Are they my soulmate? We have to be careful because we don't know what energies we're aligning with. And through ignorance, through spiritual ignorance, yes, you can get the yes answers. You get yeses with these things. And that could be for multiple reasons. It could be something that you forged. It could be the ego of that person. It could be the ignorance of the reader that doesn't know what exactly they're tapping into. It could be the influence of you if you're not clear, the influence of outside energies if you're not clear and discerning and protective of when you're tapping into energies and when you're reading for people. False information given out to you on purpose for money, for financial gain. Readers do that. There's readers that do things like that. Or so-called channelers or mediums, and they'll tell you someone is your soulmate or your twin flame, and these concepts are light change, actually. I don't feel like they even, not that they don't exist, because anything that we create exists, but I feel the concept of it came from a pure heart. It came from a pure heart, a creative heart. Maybe it came from a person, a hopeless romantic, someone who is spiritually connected, but their experience was their experience, and I feel that it kind of made way for energies that are kind of unhealthy. And I speak about this a lot. And if you're attached to a concept, if you're attached to anything that is man-made, you got to kind of be careful of that. Like, where is that concept coming from? You shouldn't be connected, or not connected, but you shouldn't be attached to anything. You should be okay with the fact that you may evolve past the concept or a level of understanding of learning, because we're constantly evolving as spiritual beings. So Another thing that puzzles me is a lot of people will say, well, this reader told me this, but then this reader told me that. That's in itself alarming. And if I ever steered anybody wrong in the wrong direction out of my ignorance, out of, you know, tapping into my spiritual gifts, underdeveloped at a point, I I at first I was like, I feel like guilty about it, I guess you can say. Not guilty like, oh, I did something on purpose, but like if I did something out of ignorance, I'm like, I hope I didn't lead anybody astray to believe that somebody was the one for them when they weren't. And sometimes we do get messages that spirit gives us for a reason, so that we're here to learn lessons, and people have to go through certain things. Um, but you always want to discern the messages for yourself first before you seek outside clarity. You shouldn't seek validation from anybody. You should always seek that clarity and validation within yourself, within that source, that divine source within you, that divine source that you're connected to, the supreme being, the most high God, or the universe, whatever you connect with. Um, that being, that energy, that spirit, that consciousness first and foremost. Um, but a lot of people, some people think that the same person, like more than one woman, will think that the same man is their quote unquote twin flame or soulmate or their husband. And the problem with that is, for one, it can be coming from your imagination. It can be coming from false information, from false beings or consciousness or your ego. Like I said, it could be coming from anywhere, but you have to be discerning. And that's what alarms me. I get messages from a lot of women, um, public figures and stuff. I get that. I understand that. It's not to say that you can't have a connection. They're just normal humans at the end of the day, for the most part. They're everyday people. Um, yeah, some of them probably ain't even human, but that's a whole nother topic. But um, it's kind of alarming to me, like the same energies and the same people. You got to be careful with that. Like, why do you think that, and why is this person thinking that? It's something within the consciousness of the person, and it may not even be that deep. It could just be essential infatuation with that person and that person's energy, or maybe there was some sort of past life connection or something, or it could be they're part of your soul tribe. But we like to equate a lot of connectedness with romance, and we romanticize these experiences. But in day-to-day life, period, regardless of who you're connected to, if this is an ex or something, it's like you can't break cords with these people. You just can't find it within yourself to let it go. You just can't find it in yourself to move on, or you just feel stuck, or you feel a sense of obsession. And that is a sign that that is some sort of attachment that you need to cut and break. It's not healthy. um, or it could be spirits trying to get your attention. But either way, we're here to cut cords with no longer serves us. And also not just romantic relationships, but friendships and certain dynamics and curses. And I don't like calling it generational curses, but that's what it's known for. I'll call it generational karma and generational programming and things like that. We're here to break all of that today. And I call to the Most High God for anything that I have not touched on that needs to be broken today, for those who are here to break these cords, whether they know that this is what their intentions were, or it was their intention. This is something that they were seeking to do. They were seeking help with this. I'm asking, not through my will or my power, but for the Most High God and through Archangel Michael, to cut these cords as they see fit and sever it in the way that they see fit and detach. And I ask for myself that whatever is attached to me, whether I forged this or whether someone else did, or some sort of outside force infiltrated my mind or my heart, my soul, my spirit, my intentions, what have you, or someone else's, to cut those ties that are ungodly. Most High God, I thank you. I thank you for cutting these cords, for the collective of those who are meant to receive this message, and for myself. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to get into the reading because I spent like a good deal. It might not even be meant to be a reading. So I'm just going to ask, what is it that the Most High God has to say? What are the messages? What are the messages that the guardians of the universe, who sit right hand with the divine creator, the supreme being, what is the message that you wish to relate to them? What is the message? The Three of Gabriel. The Three of Raphael. So the Archangel, the messenger of God, Gabriel, and the healer of God, Raphael, is here, and they're 2 3s. So there's something that has been created. Um, prosperity arising from wise planning, time to take the next step, optimistic plans that turn out as expected. Reasons to celebrate, a community of friends, happy announcements regarding a relationship or children. So, so the angels, I feel like, are saying that some of these connections were created. These are friendships. This is the first soul tie that a lot of you have created through relationships with others. Um, these could be soul tribe family or family that played a role in some of the connections that you've tied yourself into. And I feel like it was coming from a place of um, a positive place, coming from an optimistic place. It was coming from a lighthearted place. I don't get like any negative intentions at this point. I feel like it was some sort of excitement, an excitement to start fresh, start over, start a journey. And maybe you've attached yourself to people that you've evolved past on your journey. It could be 3 significant relationships with friends, or it could be 2 significant relationships. But it's like those connections were meant to help you learn and evolve. Um, I feel like there was a lot of connectedness and bondedness, if that makes sense, with these individuals, new beginnings. Yeah, so the Judgment card, New Beginnings, comes out with Archangel Raphael. It says starting a new life, finding your purpose, a forgiving and compassionate review of the past. So when you first started your spiritual journey, you met a community of people, a sisterhood, a brotherhood, or both. And I feel like they were meant to show you the next step or the next way or the next path. Especially for those of you, this is spirit family. Like you both, or all, whatever, all 3, all 4, whoever, the collective of you, were finding your purpose in life. This was you guys finding your purpose. Then you have Archangel Michael, the Ace of Swords, a wonderful new idea. Don't allow bumps in the road to hinder your progress. Clear up communication problems with others. So it could be that the ties between you and these people may not necessarily need to be severed between you and these friends, but I feel that communication needs to be cleared up. I feel like there may be lack of communication. Maybe these are people that you don't speak to anymore. They may have been there to implant ideas within you or to spark ideas within you, help you along your path and your journey of some sort. So that's what I'm getting with that. Let's see what else. The guardians of the Most High God, the Supreme Being, the angels. Okay. 5 of Raphael, which is the 5 of Cups, in the Queen area, which is the Queen of Pentacles. So, I feel that some of you guys, what attaches you to these connections and things like that is possibly some emotional instability or just past hurts and pains. You see, this woman has opened all these boxes and they're empty. So it's like you may have had one experience after another where you felt like you found the one, or you felt like you finally, found your soul tribe or your friends or the people that were going to last or stay in your life forever. And it's like anything new is kind of like reminiscing of that, whether it's a repetitive cycle or you're here to help you're here to heal that. The Archangel Raphael is here to help you heal that within your heart chakra and not being overly attached to materialistic things. It's also here to teach you to nurture yourself, to love yourself, and appreciate the things that you do love and the people that you do love. But I feel that it's time to be more practical, because maybe being overly too attached to things and to people. So you have everything happens for a reason. Release regret and embrace the opportunities for happiness. Search for the silver lining. So just simply by dwelling on the past, you're attaching yourself to these situations and experiences and past hurts and pains. So Spirit is saying specifically to release regret so that you can embrace the opportunities for happiness again. And I feel like you've matured in a lot of ways. It says mature, practical, generous, and happy. Nurture yourself and those you love. The ability to make anything more beautiful, practical, and wise advice. So there's much more blessings, but it's like you have to get out of the fear of detachment, and this fear of being disappointed again, time and time again, with your life experiences. So you got 2 6s here. The 6 of Michael, which is the 6 of Swords. The 6 of Raphael, which is the 6 of Cups. So you're moving past these energies from your childhood or past relationships. It says it's a light at the end of the tunnel. Breathe a sigh of relief and make new plans. Relocation to travel. So you're being pushed along your journey, and it's like some things are just not meant to be in your life anymore, and some people are not meant to be in your life anymore. But it's not a bad thing. It doesn't mean that you wish anyone negative or wish them harm. But I just get that you're coming out of a dark period. Like, this may be that last, this is like you're breaking something. This is that last stronghold, that last hump that you're going to overcome to reach the brighter side, or to see what it is that you've been, where your not your ending destination, but to reach that point, because it's like you've been prepared for so long for this next path in your life, this next chapter, this big chapter of your life, this big grand blessing. And